Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We have another match for you. This time, on the heels of their loss, Marquette is going to be going against William and Mary. We're going to be hitting up the agent select very soon. But Artie, off of that last match, what do you think Marquette has in store for us this time? Word on the street is we're going to have the same map. You're muted again.
Every time. I think we're nice and warm after after going up against Wichita. They definitely have seen both sides of the light, right? They had a really great first half. They had a not really great second half. I think they're going to be able to take everything they learned from that one and bring it up against William and Mary, especially if we are on the same map, which is Bind. Now, my question for you, Ashcon, will we be seeing the same agent composition?
So when these teams play on these maps, you're usually going to say the same exact composition for different opponents because you've got nothing to lose. You've showed your hand to a different team, but your current opponent has no idea what you're going to be doing, and we see exactly that. The same exact lineup, but Crotify was hovering over that chamber. Maybe they were tempted to switch it up, but nope. There's going to be no hesitation, and that's going to be the same signature 5.
Checking this out here, William and Mary. We see Mob cycling through literally everyone. Wonder which they will end up selecting on. Probably rolling a d20 just to make that choice for them. Now, Hazmat going to be locking in the Astra. It looks like that is always going to be a good pick on this map. One thing that I am curious is if Fung decides to go for
Select
Jet
your agent.
versus Blades Raze. Now, Jet is always going to be, Jet has her own abilities and her own unique reasons that you would decide to pull a Jet, especially here. And now doubling that up with the Rays here from Guacamole, that answers all of my questions. They're going for the double duelist. And so we will be seeing the double duelist on both sides, one initiator, one controller.
From the side of William and Mary, their team composition is strong for displacing players with the Asher utility, the raised paint shells. You're gonna have the Trailblazer on Sky, but they don't have a whole lot of post plant. The paint shells are guaranteed to go out while you're entering into the site, and sure, Astra may have a gravity well or two, but that's not going to be enough of a threat to make players feel unsafe in defusing the spike. So I think what they're going to have to do is take as much territory as possible and take as many lives as possible on their initial site take. Now, we've already had a glimpse of the way Marquette has played. They don't go for the post plant, and if they do, they hold very tight to the spike and use smokes and corners to double swing their opponents as they don't lose players too early when they can. So I think William and Mary is going to be a reflection of that strategy. They're going to be foils of each other, I guess we could say. But I'm more curious about how that Sky is going to play out without, not getting the long range visibility on her drone the way that the Owl drone does for Sova.
So Fung immediately swings that corner and takes a lot of damage for nothing in return. But William and Mary is going pretty aggressive for this pistol round. Protify might be taking off a little bit too much. Unfortunately, though, that stun there. They will be able to get out. That was just at the nick of time there. We will be seeing Dog and Crotify holding out on bathrooms from this long sight line to make sure that it'll work out. Guacamole
One
goes down
enemy
as well,
remaining.
but will be traded out by Hazmat. Just a single Rame stands in the way, but all four members of Marquette just aggress the site at the same time, and Marquette is going to be able to bring out their pistol round.
As swift one at that, I think that's the of the two we've saw previously. This third one is the fastest one we've
Should I
seen
play
already.
some stars in this reality?
Very,
That'll
very
work.
good stuff coming up from Marquette, especially with this like nice force buy. Wow, four Spectres, they're not wasting any time just getting into it. They want to make sure that if they have an advantage, they will push it. William and Mary is going to be going on that full save, as you should after losing a pistol, but Marquette going for that full aggressive Spectre buy. I think we're going to be seeing a bit of a front-facing run for this defense.
Atsu has pushed up and is going to be rewarded for it very shortly, but they're not going to land the initial shots. And they actually back away, I think, trying to show that they're going to retreat. And I was expecting actually their raise to play off of that fake out, off of the sound cue. But very conservative from the side of Marquette, not allowing any early picks to go out against them and drop Spectres to the hands of William and Mary. And now Atsu's going to draw first blood on the side of B as they've rotated over already.
And Marquette is definitely going to be just placing all of this by right where their mouth is. A flawless round for Marquette. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. That being said, William and Mary, they full saved on that one. I don't think we were expecting anything other than that. William and Mary now going to be able to buy full Vandals and Phantoms, full armor, lots and lots of utility. And, well, I think that we'll start to see a little bit more coming out for them. Right now, Hazmat is the only player in William and Mary with a kill on the board. And, well, I really want to see some more out of the duelists on William and Mary.
Absolutely. I mean, for them to allow the first 2 rounds to slip away so quickly, this third one needs to be something extravagant, and I would dare I say it needs to be flawless for them to make a statement against Marquette's onslaught. Right now, having your Sky and Initiator alone, your sole semblance of flashes, that's dangerous, but it looks like Fang is not going to need it as utility flies out, but these Nebulas are going to stall the initial push with no dash. Fang can only walk out or wait for the Nebula to disperse, Artie.
William, they are in a good position. All 4 stacked up right now, though. Atsu, we've seen him win these before. The Spectre going to be able to take out 2 immediately. Guacamole luckily able to just get out of the line of sight just in time here. Protify, though, does not even get winked at. Guacamole goes down here. Fung is going to be recombining with the Astra here. Atsu turns the corner, says no, takes that Spectre and uses it for its full utility here. Hazmat gets taken out immediately. He does pick up one of the Crotify, but wow, Marquette is looking as strong as ever. This is really a flashback to Marquette's first half from the last game, too.
I mean, absolutely. Same roster, same map. They're definitely feeling themselves. And to pick up the 3rd round in a row is going to be a wrecking ball to the economy of William and Mary. They're just not going to have anything in savings, forced on the back burner. They might have, you know, a Spectre or a Sheriff or 2. And we see exactly that. 5 lined up on the board. But they don't have any ultimates to leverage to even make this seem possible of winning. If they get an early pick or 2, sure, the odds may be leaning towards their favor, but just right now, not set up for them. And Atsu, a big risk in taking that swing, dropped to 45 HP, but don't worry, Crotify and Blade save the day.
Do better.
I know that this is another save round for William and Mary, but I don't know, Ashcon. I'm getting kind of scared for them here.
Yeah, it's a Valorant is a momentum-based game, and right now, William and Mary are just caught in the crossfire of everything Marquette is executing. They moved over to the hookah area. I mean, Fung and Raim, they don't have many options, and both being revealed, it's pretty obvious to Stevo what they need to do. Just anchor down on the site and wait for the push. They do exactly that, being good for 2. And they're just going to get closer to that Cosmic Divide.
Yeah, that Cosmic Divide is just on the horizon here, but what a beautiful spray transfer there from Stevo. Hearing exactly Jet Dash, knowing exactly how far Jet is going to be coming out, and then turn to the right and just taking out Raim as soon as they fall off of the hookah barricade. Just, chef's kiss.
Uh-oh. This is what I've been waiting for. The Dimensional Drift is open on Yoru. They've made some cheeky plays in the last map, and I'm kind of excited to see it again. The implementation was really surprising to me the first time, and I want to be able to see it again just to break it down a little bit further, but I don't even think the Dimensional Drift was used. It looks like it's just going to be a Hunter's Fury instead to find this first opening frag, and Atsu faked the fake, devil tricking, getting into the heads of William and Mary for a free pick onto Guacamole, and then gets to teleport all the way onto A, and William and Mary are just in the hands of Marquette, more like a puppet to a marionette.
We love to see it, and Fung is just going to try to find their way out, but we've seen Stevo's aim. Fung dodging that shock dart accidentally even. That was very, very close there. Fung just walked all the way back here. Atsu just barely out of the line of sight. Gonna be able to pick it up there as well. Another teleport away just in time. William and Mary is just gonna be down to Raym and Hazmat, both who pick up 1 kill on B each. That is gonna leave B side open, but unfortunately they didn't aggress just yet. They walked back into Blades, who was holding behind them. 5-0 Ashcon, and Marquette is just beautifully strong right now.
They've taken the defense for themselves, which is, I mean, surprising. They don't have a traditional, for example, instead of Yoru, they would have a Viper. It's not a meta team composition, and yet they're completely taking control of the flow. And I mean, Atsu hasn't died a single time, so they're
I didn't even notice.
immortal essentially.
That is insane. And we are going to be seeing the caster's curse, though, immediately. Ashcon, why'd you say something?
Sorry, Atsu, my bad, man.
The 1v4 just not going to work out. Chronify also could sense he's in imminent danger, teleports away. See what they're going to be able to do here with the tour de force. Unfortunately, they're going to whiff twice, get into their heads a little bit. Maybe it was intentional. Taking out Guacamole now for the second one. Let's see how well this will work out, as now William and Mary have a no advantage here. Hazmat just caught out, revealed, and we see Chronify pick up a 3K. Raym going down. Very unfortunate play for William and Mary there after a strong start taking out Atsu, but they just could not aggress fast enough. And I think that that's kind of been the theme here, right? Is William and Mary sometimes, you know, they'll get a really impressive frag and they'll get a really impressive site clear, and they won't push it. And I think that that's hurting them here.
A lot of reservation, and I want to say a lack of coordination. We've seen their initiator on their own a few times, and the timings for the utility implementation just a little bit off kilter, and so it creates an awkward opening against their own team. We see Fung and Raym approaching B long together. That shock dart is going to go whiz right past the head of Raym and land onto the sand. Luckily, the grounds. But we're going to see a showstopper straight to the back of sight, trying to aim into elbow. No players hit, but Fang is going to go ahead and land the opening shot, RD.
A full B rush here. This is exactly what we wanted to see. They get the spike down here. Fung actually good for 2, takes out Dog. Atsu will come through with the classic shorty. Unfortunately, it's just not going to hit the mark there. Marquette is just down to Blades and 16 HP. William and Mary looking like a different team this round after they finally get aggressive. Fung actually pulling out a 4K here after really just playing a little bit reserved, playing behind the Astra for so long. Now we see what Fung's full potential is when you give them all of their utility, a full armor, a Phantom. Fung is definitely, you know, finally awake.
Now we got to see if they can maintain that wokeness, because right now they're still caught in the tempo of Marquette. One round is great. They break through, put themselves on the scoreboard. They can feel a little bit more loose and relaxed. Gods do bleed, so Marquette can be made to lose a good couple more rounds before the next half, but not if William and Mary continue these solo peaks, enabling an initial agent lead for Marquette consistently. It's not working in their favor, and I don't think they're learning their lesson right now, Artie.
Oh, Blades is just so good with those instant peaks here. Marquette only dropping Blades in that fight, leaving William and Mary up to just their Sentinel and their Initiator. And again, we see William and Mary on the back foot after a strong start. They had a great round last round, but here they are. Raym able to finish off Chronify, who was only down to 9 HP here, getting revealed in the process, while Mob is at 31 HP here in Bathroom. Marquette has fully flooded out on A site here, leaving Astra on B, but playing with their utility on A, just in case they need it. Dog will be able to take out Raym, which just leaves this 31 HP Sky to come through. And as Yoda gets the pop flash, it will work out in their favor. Marquette now 7 to William and Mary's 1.
Round is lost. They take a round right back, and yeah, it's just a matter of patience. You're on the attacking side, sure. William and Mary, they're justified in wanting to find fights to open space, but not alone. Guacamole was way too wide and just out of their territory. Oh, there was no angle for the teammate to trade. And on top of that, they're peeking right into a chamber. So if Crotify is not immediately refragged, it's going to be a free getaway, a get out of jail free card. Literally a card.
The get out of the duel free card.
Exactly.
We see Atsu getting ready for this. We know that he's so good with these long angles, but up against those jet knives here, he didn't have to deal with that last round. Flashes himself just a little bit, gets flashed by Sky just a little bit. Gonna just take the teleporter and clear out. Dog with all three of those landing directly on the enemy here. Raim will go down. Fung and Mob trying to come through, but they're both damaged from that Hunter's Fury. Fung with just a classic out, try to aggress, but there's just kind of no point. They will both go through the teleporter here. Now, it looks like Hazmat has made a pretty solid pick here to take out Crotify. But unfortunately for William and Mary, we see Marquette pushing through that same teleporter to regroup for this site retake. And Blade takes out Hazmat. Stevo just clears up the rest of William and Mary. And Marquette has pretty much all 40 seconds to get this spike defused.
It was a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation. But I think William and Mary, they definitely lacked the patience to leave one behind. Fully rotating indicated to Marquette that they are able to come and chase the trail. And that's exactly what they did. They cast a net around the A side. If you're looking around the minimap, every entryway onto A was covered with the exception of A short, I believe. And so that really, left few places to hide for the remaining attackers in the 9th round. So moving on to the 10th, William and Mary, they understand now that they need to pick and choose their battles, but now they need to understand which places of territory they need to keep under their control so that they can always have an escape route, especially in the post plans.
I hate calling out players like this, but the thing is that we're not seeing enough initiative from the initiator. So Mob is doing a lot with flashes, but you see flashing like that and then just backing off to not play on it, especially with Sky when you get told when the flash works out. We're just not seeing the initiator playing much with the team here. We see Hazmat running with the knife out, turning a corner, getting taken out immediately by Blades. It drops down from a 4-2 here, with William and Mary actually having a lead to now being back to the 2v2. And Atsu running back here, they've got spike control, even though Fung and Mob have already pushed all the way up into Long. We just see Atsu holding back because he knows that he's just got to make sure that that spike gets covered. Mob actually gets the spike, runs back to the teleporter, but unfortunately that teleport was heard, and now Raze has the ability to get all the way over onto A site here. That flash only works if any member of Marquette was holding out from heaven, but they weren't. Going to be seeing Raze coming through right now for this retake. The grenade goes out, Mob falls back into bathroom, which sure, you can defend the spike from bathroom, but we see Mob going all the way back around to try to get behind Blades. This is definitely a mind game, and this is definitely a gamble because Mob could just get this spike diffused right in front of them and not have the ability to come out. But Mob did end up pushing fully, and Blades is unaware. It worked out. The gamble paid off. That is the initiative that we wanted from our initiator. Mob just really showed off there.
I'm no mind reader, but I want to say that the reason Mob could confidently wrap around to A short was because Blades dropped those paint shells way too early. There was really no need. The spike was already being secured, and there was more than enough time for Mob to run away. That means Blades is just giving away their own position. It did exactly that. And so what are you to do? You're only one person. You have no one to watch your flank, and there's an objective that needs to be taken. So Mob knew immediately to get behind, and I think that play is a result of just a little bit of a trigger finger lack of discipline from the side of Marquette.
100%. We see a good trade come through here, but unfortunately Fung drops as well, so William and Mary again on a one-man disadvantage as Mob gets taken out through the cloud by Stevo. It's just now a 4v2. Raim on the backside of B, Hazmat on the short of A, and unfortunately as Hazmat drops, Raim just trying to find some place to survive. and save all you can do in this situation here before the round before the half. The round before the round before the half. It's round 10. It's round
Math?
11. It's round 11.
Round 11, yeah.
The next one is the half. But not like we've come across the half. It's the one where it'll be the half. The
30
penultimate, if you
seconds
will.
left.
Understood. So they're gonna get a plant off, but unfortunately for Rain, that means they're gonna get stuck alongside it. The spike is down and ticking away, but with no one to defend it, it's gonna be a few short moments before we see a 9th round on the board for Marquette. And they're not worried about a curse. 9-3 or 10-2. They're more than willing to enter into the second half with such a huge advantage.
Well, you do always
Last
hear about that
round before the
9-3
switch.
curse, but in this particular
Right there.
example, I don't think that even that would stow them. But look at this, William and Mary, their economy looking like the
BYD
US's
fam,
right now.
going
It's
to
just in
Astro to
shambles.
do them Astro Guardian things I do.
Ouch, man.
That was
Ouch.
wet.
Well, listen. The 9-3 curse is so last episode anyways. Like, who even believes in the 9-3 curse? It's not even like who even cares, Artie? You know, like
It's all about that 6-6 curse.
it's all about the 6-6 tie-up, exactly. You see Blades jumping in, trying to zone players, or I would say unintentionally zoning away the attackers. No one wants to die this early, except for Fung, I guess, who
With a
is
shock dart.
unfortunately for them, and it's going to be not the showstopper, but the Vandal that vandalizes the entirety of William and Mary, leaving only 2 alive outside of A short, closer to the A lobby, and we're going
Oh,
to see the
no.
dimensional drift.
Atsu.
Deja vu.
Atsu's
I have seen this
bullying.
place before.
Oh man, that was a great last round there.
Switching
I don't think
sides.
Marquette really needed to do much other than have fun. But now it's back to the pistols. William and Mary, they've got a chance here. If they pick up the pistols, they force up. That's 2 rounds. You know, and that's doable, Ashcon. You're looking at me like it's not doable. Ashcon?
No, it's well, it's doable, it's possible, but right now when that kind of lead is taken against you, I mean, it has to be demoralized. It's a best of 1 series, right? They're part of a comeback is also the glimmer of hope, and in a best of 3 series, a team that's down 8-9 rounds can tell themselves that they can come back in map 2, and that can also serve as a catalyst to start a comeback in their very first map. But we're in a best of 1 series here. For William and Mary, it's one and done, and if they don't start to come back now, it's gonna hurt. They know this. They are completely aware of this, and so that added pressure could mean a dwindle in performance. But I'm no psychologist. All I know is that Fung is getting shot at and needs to get out of that situation ASAP, Artie.
How is Fung alive right now? The only reason that Fung could be alive is because Blades let it happen. Mob pulling out the scout right there actually was
One
a
enemy
great
remaining.
play. That allowed all of the effort to be placed onto the scout, allowing for the swing. We get a flawless from William and Mary. Ashcon, I told you, it was possible.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't discount them. A pistol round is the place to swap the momentum of the game. We talked about Valorant being momentum based, and pistol round is where it all resets. But just because they win round 1 and secure round 2, round 3 is where the realism starts to kick in. And sure, they got a couple of extra kills, meaning Raim can get a little bit of extra info with the neural theft as soon as possible. But that may not mean much when you have 2 characters that teleport around right after they've been spotted.
Ooh, as Atsu gets the first kill onto Hazmat, you're slowly deciphering the puzzle that William and Mary has left us with and how they got a flawless on that last pistol. Atsu will come through and finding Raim. Spectre, a taste of their own medicine here, but Blades will just right-click Raim out of existence here. Marquette will get the spike down. William and Mary now trying to get this retake here. Mob gets some information with the scout. Gonna be Guacamole taking out Profile. Mob taking on Sivo, which just leaves us with Dog. Gonna be trying to use his Marshall for good. Does manage to take out one here, but as Mob pushes through, Fung will try to stick the defuse. And unless Dog can hit this first shot, which they won't, is going to be another win for William and Mary, and this is what I told you, Ashcon. They were gonna win the pistol, win the one right after, and you told me that couldn't happen.
I now you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say it would. It couldn't happen. All right.
I saw your eyes.
I said it was unlikely. Okay. And even so, they pick up the second round. That's very standard. It's not something to applaud. More so, it's an expectation. And in fact, losing 3 players to those armed only with classics is a detriment. Now you see William and Mary have no economy. If they drop this round, their backs are going to be against the wall.
Here.
I mean, they may have enough for a light buy, but Marquette are just in a position to really pressure William and Mary and make them feel the threat of these long-range Vandals and Phantoms.
Definitely. One Vandal on the side of William and Mary might not be enough to stifle the entire economic force that is Marquette at this point in time. Fung getting blinded right there. Atsu and Fung just at their throats right now. Guacamole picking up the first kill on the Blades. This is actually a strong start for William and Mary, especially as we see the Vandal come through. Mob, though, not seeing Atsu's head. I feel like that definitely should have gone the other direction, but as Rain gets revealed as well, it's going to be a lot of util flying out to A site with no spike to back it up. This fight is almost pointless here as B gets taken. William and Mary left with just Rain to try and get back into the fight here, having to go all the way back around to B. And, well, don't think it's going to be working out too well. Sivo just waits for those footsteps to get close enough. Good spray down here. It's 11-4. William and Mary, their eco is not going to be the prettiest.
Let that round be a lesson to all of you controller players at home, especially if you play Astra. There's an outline for where that smoke is going to reach when you drop the star. Make sure it covers those corners so that the attackers can't peek through and have a little bit of a sliver of an angle that your teammates don't expect. If that was sealed tight, I don't think Atsu gets that same opportunity to just burst right on in after, separating Mob's head from the rest of their body. Speaking of separating the head, the spearhead of this next push is Atsu once again with the dimensional drift, holding the mask out, so if anyone shoots at them, they'll get the invincibility frames, and now they're just running behind enemy lines, using the smoke to their advantage, and it's the signature Shorty to follow up. Thank you, Tens, for making the most cheese strat in existence.
Atsu, you are a beautiful beast. You're gonna be watching now as Blade just holds this out. Guacamole just gonna be walking in, but with the Bucky, Guacamole actually comes out on top for this one. It's a 3v3. Marquette gets the spike down, but this is when William and Mary has to get their next kill. We see the flash go through, the information will be laid out, but Atsu will just be a little bit faster. But Mob from the back will play on it to take out Atsu. It's just down to the 2v1. William and Mary left to just Fung here, who gets taken out by a shock dart yet again. I think that is the second time that Dog has killed Fung with a shock dart.
Match point.
I guess you could say it's a little bit shocking, eh, Artie?
I knew it.
It's such low-hanging fruit, and I still went for it anyways. Yeah, it's a bad habit of mine. I apologize. But anyways, back to analysis. We're going to see Atsu leading 20 kills to 7. Second fewest deaths on their team, and the most kills total I think we've seen between now and the previous match. And on Yoru, nonetheless, I mean, when people discount constantly this duelist as one of the least viable, and I mean, despite Atsu's performance, I think that still reigns true, which is why you got to give him that much more respect on this agent. You got to wonder what they're capable of doing with other duelists on other maps.
I guess you could say that Atsu is looking kind of hot, Ashcon.
Thank you. I don't know if everyone's going to get that one.
For those of you at home, Atsu is hot in Japanese. We will see Atsu take out Fung right there, swing out with the teleport. Not going to be able to pick up the other one. Instead, picks up Guacamole's bullets with his face. Devo, though, does get the refrag. It's a 3v3. The spike goes down on B, and William and Mary will flood in for this defensive retake right now. Looks like they are going to be sending their Astra through the teleport. That's all you've got time to do here. We will, unfortunately, for Marquette, though, it is going to go the way of William and Mary here. This was not the way that I expected this to go. That being said, Chamber is still on the back, going to be able to cover out from Hookah. Stevo is waiting for their time to shine here as all the utility gets flooded out to them. Finally, a good Astro Smoke, but Chamber from Hookah going to be making this a little bit more difficult. All three members playing together is great here because the trades will come through, but Crotify is holding this with his life right now, wants to end this, wants to go home, and it looks like Crotify picks up the one onto Rame, but does Mob have enough time to get the defuse? No, and Marquette, that is a solid defense from Hookah. The Chamber just waiting and biding their time, and it is 13-4 here today. Ashcon, that was beautiful.
I I was not expecting Codify to actually have that much success with the final play, to be quite frank with you. I think, and I think there was a little bit of a lack of trust to Mob, especially because you could visibly see Cypher get on the spike and then immediately get off of it, and that was, I want to say, that moment was the game changer. You have to trust your teammate in that moment. It's a lose lose situation, right? You don't trust your teammate, you're going to lose, but you also risk yourself being shot anyway. So I think in that case, the best possible scenario is just put the heart of the cards into Mob and see what you draw. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you do trust exercises at home. Make sure you hold your arms out and fall into the hands of your teammates and maybe cuddle them a little bit if you can. Anyways, Artie, your final thoughts on the match before we toss to a break.
I think honestly, you said it right there, right? Trust fall exercises super important. You just gotta trust that your team is gonna come through for you. And the only thing that we have been able to figure out, the only thing I can trust is that Atsu will come through that teleporter. He will come out of his form, and he will have a shorty in hand ready to do damage with it. Next up, we are going to be seeing William and Mary up against Wichita State University, but that's gonna be right after this break.